So, guys, just imagine that you are in a situation where the sun is setting down and the darkness is becoming deeper. Everywhere it is getting dark. No one is around you and you are alone. Darkness is getting really deeper. So, what would help you in this situation? Light. Light would help you in this situation, right? And luckily, you also have a bulb with you. Oh, that's amazing. But wait, bulb, or you also need energy to glow the bulb, right? So, what is that energy and how is it produced and how was it found? At the end of this video, you will be answered to all these questions. So, today's topic is going to be electricity. So, let's begin. So, welcome back to my channel Info with Suraj. So, before beginning the video, make sure that you like my video and also subscribe my channel for more videos. So, let's begin. Electricity. It is the presence and the flow of positive and negative electric charges. We can say that the electricity is the presence of flow of positive and negative electric charges which supply the energy. Point number 2. It occurs naturally as seen in lightning or is produced in generators. We have seen electricity in lightning which is natural, and we can also produce electricity in generators. Point number 3. Electricity needs a medium called conductors to flow or to get transported. Electricity just not goes, it needs a medium called conductors. So what are conductors? Conductors are the materials which allow the electric current to pass through them. Conductors are the materials or some things which allow electricity to pass through them. Some of the examples are metals like silver, gold, copper, steel, and liquid like seawater. These are good conductors of electricity. Point number 5. It is the best known form of electricity is the flow of electrons through conductors like copper and aluminium. We can say that electricity is the flow of electrons through conductors. Next comes discovery of electricity. So, how was electricity discovered? Electricity was discovered in steps. Before knowledge of electricity to the people, Egyptians were aware of the shocks by electric fish. Means before the discovery of electricity, some ancient Egyptians were aware of the shocks or knew about the shock by electric eels or fish. Electric fish were again reported by ancient Greeks, Arabics, and Romans. After Egyptians, this point number 3. Ancient cultures around Mediterranean knew about objects such as rods of amber could be rubbed to the cat's fur to attract light objects. Cultures around Mediterranean knew about some objects like rods of amber which is obtained from tree could be rubbed to the cat's fur to attract light objects such as hair, paper, etc. On this observation, Thales of Miletus made a series of observations on static electricity around 600 BCE. After the discovery of in the Mediterranean Sea, this scientist made a series of observations. In 1600, an English scientist named William Gilbert wrote a book, De Magnete, in which he made a careful study of electricity and magnetism. This scientist in 1600 wrote a book named De Magnete. He made a careful study of electricity or the relation between electricity and magnetism. Point number 6. William Gilbert in his book De Magnete distinguished the loadstone effect from the static electricity produced by rubbing amber. Also, William Gilbert in his book De Magnete wrote about or distinguished the loadstone effect from the static electricity produced by rubbing amber. Later in 18th century, a scientist named Benjamin Franklin conducted extensive research in electricity. He made an experiment later. Benjamin Franklin in June 1752, he tied a metal key to a damped kite string and flown it in a storm. He made an experiment in June 1752. He tied a key to a kite string and flown it in the storm or thunder. A succession of sparks jumping from the key to back of his hand showed that the lightning was indeed electrical in nature. The experiment was successful and Benjamin Franklin got to know that the lightning is also indeed electrical in nature. Next comes in 1800, the first battery was made by Alessandro Volta. This was made by the alternating layers of the zinc and copper in 1800. This was a major discovery in electricity. Then comes Hans Christian Orsted and Andre Marie Ampere discovered the unit of electric and magnetic phenomena now called electromagnetism in 1819 to 1820. Hans Christian Orsted and Andre Marie Ampere discovered the unit of electricity and magnetism. Then comes Michael Faraday invented electrical motor in 1821 and George Ohm mathematically analyzed the electric circuit in 1827. Two main discoveries were made by Michael Faraday in 1821 and George Ohm in 1827. So these were one of the major discoveries in the field of electricity. So next let's continue. Electricity generation. So what is electricity generation? Electricity generation is the process of generating electric power from the sources of primary sources. Means the electricity generation is the process of producing electricity with the available resources such as air, water, sunlight, etc. Point number 2. Electricity is not freely available in nature and so it needs to be generated. So why does electricity need to be generated? It needs to be generated because it is not available in nature as air or water. It is generated in power stations or plants by electromechanical generators or turbines. As you can see in the picture, this type of machines are used to produce electricity in power stations or power plants. So how was electricity generation started? So let's begin. Electricity generation was started by a British scientist named Michael Faraday in 1820s and early 1830s. So Michael Faraday was a British scientist who started the electricity generation in 1820s and the early 1830s. Point number 2. Electricity generation for commercial use was started in 1873 with the coupling of dynamo to hydraulic turbine. This was a major discovery. In 1873, the dynamo was coupled to hydraulic turbine. With the help of this new discovery, electricity generation for commercial use was started. Point number 3. The mechanical production of electric power became the second industrial revolution. So the production of mechanical production of electricity became the second industrial revolution in the world. Several new inventions were made using electricity with major contributions from Thomas Alva Edison and Nikola Tesla. So many new inventions were made such as bulb, Tesla foil, etc. was done with the great contribution with the help of electricity. Electricity generation at central power stations became started in 1882. Means in 1882, a steam engine using a dynamo started producing current which supplied electricity to street lights at Pearl Street, New York. So this new technology was adopted in many cities around the world. Also, the gas fueled street lights were replaced with the electric power. So the gas fueled street lights were changed with the street lights with electric power. The first power plants used water or coal to generate electricity, but nowadays a variety of energies are used. Before, in the earlier time, coal or water was used to generate. So this was the history of electricity generation. Next we'll see how was the electrical generation in modern times. Electricity generation in modern times. So how is electricity generated now? Electricity generation nowadays is done in many ways with the help of a variety of resources. Electricity is not generated only with the help of water or coal but with a variety of resources. So these resources include air, water, sunlight and thermal stations, etc. So as we can see in the picture, a variety of resources are used to generate electricity. So why not let them study in detail? Okay, so let's begin. Have you ever seen the structures around the highways or high mountains? If yes, these are the wind energy or windmill. So how was it found and what does it do? Let's start. Wind turbines convert the kinetic energy into the wind into electrical energy by the use of generator. Wind turbines convert the kinetic energy which is found in the wind into electricity by use of generator. The first wind turbines were built by the end of 19th century by Professor James Blyth in Scotland, Charles F. Brush in Ireland, Ohio and Paul Acor in Denmark from 1887 to 1890. These scientists started building wind turbines in various areas from 1887 to 1890. By the 1908, there were 72 wind-driven electricity generators in Denmark, which produced from 5 to 25 kilowatt. 72 wind-driven electric generators produced 5 to 25 kilowatt energy in 1908 in Denmark. Hundreds of thousands of large turbines in installations known as wind farms now generate over 650 gigawatts of power with 60 watt added 60 gigawatt added each year. Just imagine how much it produces. In modern times, the advanced windmill operates with just three blades, mainly to generate sustainable sources of energy, electricity, and energy. Today, these windmills are also referred to as wind turbines. Modern time windmill have just three blades which mainly rotate to generate electricity. These blades are connected to a generator or turbine which converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. As you can see in the image, when the wind enters the turbine rotates which is attached to a generator which produces electricity and electricity is produced. So this is how the windmill works. So let's study hydroelectricity in detail now. Have you ever visited a dam? If you have visited a dam, you will be also known that electricity is produced there, and this electricity is known as hydroelectricity. So what is hydroelectricity? How was it formed? Hydroelectricity is the electricity produced by the hydropower in the dams. We can say that the hydroelectricity is the electricity or the energy produced with the help of hydropower or water present in dams. In mid 1770s, French engineer Bernard Forest de Bélidor, what did he do? He published Architecture Hydraulique, which described vertical and horizontal axis hydraulic machines. They helped in fixing the turbines or working of the turbines in dams. In 1771, Richard Arkwright's use of water power played a significant part in the development of the factory system with modern employment practice. In 1771, Richard Arkwright started the water power which played a significant part in development of hydroelectricity. By the late 19th century, the electrical generator was developed and could now be coupled with the hydraulics. In the late 19th century, the generator was developed which could couple with hydraulics which was made in the past. This was a major discovery in hydroelectricity. In 1878, the world's first hydroelectric power scheme was developed, which was done at Crackside in Northumberland, England, by a man called William Armstrong. In 1881, the Scolf Power Station number 1 started producing electricity at Niagara Falls. The world's highest or biggest Niagara Falls started generating electricity. In 1886, there were 45 hydroelectric power stations in United States and Canada, and in 1889 there were 200 in United States alone. This says that the hydroelectricity grew very faster. Then how does it work? Have any idea? The first turbines are installed in dams and are installed in such a way that the water falls, it should rotate. When the water falls on the turbine, it should rotate. They are fixed in such a way. Point number 2. When the turbine rotates faster with the help of water, the generator attached to the turbine starts generating electricity. Means when the water falls from the above, it turns the turbine which is attached to the generator. When the turbine starts, the generator also starts producing electricity. The electricity generated by generator is sent to transformer, and these transformers convert electricity to usable volts. So the generated electricity is sent to the transformers and they are converted into usable volts for cities. Then the electricity is sent to the cities or transported to the cities using wires. So this is how the hydroelectricity is created. I'll be explaining other methods and how the electricity distributed in the next video. I hope that you like the video, and please hit a like if you like this video. And also, if you are new to my channel, subscribe to my channel Info with Suraj for more new videos. And I will continue in the next part, and I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.